Hello dear students, this is Vishal sir from Ikra High School. Today we are going to conclude part 2 of chapter 4. Our today's topic will be Will you be my friend? Now let's read first and then understand it better. Carbon seems to be very friendly element. So far we have been looking at compound containing carbon and hydrogen only. But carbon also forms bonds with other elements such as halogen, oxygen, nitrogen and sulfur. In a hydrocarbon chain, one or more hydrogen can be replaced by this element such that the valency of carbon remains satisfied. In such compound, the element replacing hydrogen is referred to as heteroatom. These heteroatoms are also present in some groups, just like given in table 4.3. As you study the table 4.3, you will come to know about heteroatoms. There are three main heteroatoms mentioned here: chlorine, bromine and oxygen. If chlorine or bromine are added, the class of compound it forms is halogen group. That means from the structural formula of any of the functional group, if any one hydrogen is replaced with chlorine or bromine, it forms a new functional group known as halogen group. In the same manner, if hydrogen is replaced by oxygen, it can form alcohol, aldehyde, ketone or carboxylic acid. The structural formula is given in the third part. These heteroatoms and the group containing these confer specific property to the compound, regardless of the length and nature of the carbon chain, and hence are called functional groups. Some important functional groups are given in table 4.3. Free valency or valencies of the group are shown by single line. The functional group is attached to the carbon chain through valency by replacing one hydrogen atom or atoms. So my dear students, there are different functional groups mentioned here: alcohol, aldehyde, ketone, carboxylic acid, and each of them has their own functional group. Just like when alcohol is there, the carbon compound replaces one hydrogen with OH, so it becomes another functional group of alcohol. Let's take the example of methane. It is the simplest hydrocarbon, and you can see carbon is attached with 4 hydrogen. From that 4 hydrogen, any one of the hydrogen is replaced and it is left with one alcohol OH functional group, which makes them methanol. So this way a new compound or a new structure of carbon is formed. In such compound, the element replacing hydrogen is referred to as heteroatom. These heteroatoms are also present in some groups. These heteroatoms and the group containing these confer specific properties to the compound, regardless of the length and nature of the carbon chain, and hence are called functional group. Some important functional groups are given in the following table. Free valency or valencies of the group are shown by single line. The functional group is attached to the carbon chain through this valency by replacing one hydrogen atom or atoms. Homologous series. You have seen the carbon atom can be linked together to form chain of varying length. These chain can be branched also. In addition, hydrogen atom or other atom of this carbon chain can be replaced by any of the functional group that we saw above. The presence of the functional group such as alcohol decides the property of carbon compound regardless of the length of the carbon chain. For example, the chemical property of methanol is CH3OH, ethanol is C2H5OH, propanol is C3H7OH, and butanol is C4H9OH are all very similar. So the alkane functional group or the alkane group has methane CH4, ethane C2H6, which differs by CH2 unit to form a new homologous series. As you can see here, methane becomes methanol, ethane becomes ethanol. All these have same chemical properties, and such a series of compound in which same functional group substitute for hydrogen in a carbon chain is called homologous series. The general formula for alkenes can be written as CnH2n, where n can be 2, 3, 4. As the molecular mass increases in any homologous series, a gradation of physical property is seen. That means if the molecular mass increases when you convert the alkane to alcohol functional group, its boiling point and melting point will increase because there is a gradual increase of molecular mass. Other physical properties such as solubility in a particular solvent also show a similar gradation, but the chemical property which are determined solely by the functional group remain similar in a homologous series. Nomenclature. The name of compound in a homologous series are based on the name of the basic carbon chain modified by a prefix, phrase before or suffix, phrase after indicating the nature of the functional group. For example, let's take the names of the alcohol taken in activity 4.2 as methanol, ethanol, propanol and butanol. Naming a carbon compound can be done by the following method. Identify the number of carbon atom in a compound. For example, methane has 1 carbon atom, ethane has 2 carbon atom, propane has 3 carbon atom, butane has 4 carbon atom and pentane has 5 carbon atom, which concludes to hexane. So number of carbon atom decides its name. Identify the number of carbon atom in the compound. A compound having 3 carbon atom would have the name propane. In case of functional group is present, it is indicated in the name of compound with either prefix or a suffix. Let's take for the example, the functional group begins with the vowel A, E, I, O, U, then the name of the carbon chain is modified by deleting the final E and adding proper suffix. A 3 carbon chain with ketone group would be named in the following manner. Propane would be replaced with propanone. If carbon chain is unsaturated, that is it is a double bond or a triple bond, then the final ANE in the name of the carbon chain is substituted by ENE or YNE. So the propane would become propene for double bond and propyne for triple bond. Here is a table of the nomenclature. For halogen alkane group, the prefix, that means starting word, changes to chloro and bromo. Here if you can see, there are 3 carbon atoms, 1, 2 and 3. That means it is a propane. But one hydrogen is replaced by chlorine. It is of halogen compound. So its name would become chloropropane. In the same manner, if it is replaced by Br, that is bromine, its name would become bromopropane. Alcohol will have suffix OL. That means the same propane replaced one hydrogen with OH, its name would become propanol. Now let's study chemical properties of carbon compound. Here we will first study combustion. Carbon in all its allotropic form burns in oxygen to give carbon dioxide along with the release of heat and light. Most carbon compound also release a large amount of heat and light on burning. These are oxidation reaction that you learned in the first chapter. So here you can see the example, carbon when combusted becomes carbon dioxide. Also heat and light is released. In the same manner, methane when combusted, it also forms carbon dioxide, water and heat and light. So in all the 3 cases during combustion, carbon dioxide gas is released. Saturated hydrocarbon will generally give a clean flame, that means a blue flame, while unsaturated carbon compounds will give a yellow flame with lots of black smoke. This result in a sooty deposit on the metal plate. However, limiting the supply of air result in incomplete combustion of even saturated hydrocarbon giving a sooty flame. The gas or kerosene stove used at home has inlet for air so that a sufficient oxygen rich mixture is burned to give clean blue flame. But if you observe the bottom of the cooking vessel getting blackened, it means that the air holes are blocked and the fuel is getting wasted. Fuels such as coal and petroleum have some amount of nitrogen and sulfur in them. Their combustion result in the formation of oxide of sulfur and nitrogen, which are major pollutants in the environment. Our next chemical reaction is oxidation. Carbon compound can easily oxidize on combustion. In addition to this complete oxidation, we have reaction in which alcohol are converted to carboxylic acid. As you can see, ethanol when combusted or oxidized in the presence of alkyne potassium permanganate, it gives ethanoic acid. We see that some substances are capable of adding oxygen to others. So in oxidation, there are certain substances which oxidizes the other compound. These substances are known as oxidizing agent. Now there are 2 oxidizing agents mentioned over here, alkaline potassium permanganate or acidified potassium dichromate. These are oxidizing alcohol to acid, that is adding oxygen to the starting material. Another chemical property is addition reaction. Unsaturated hydrocarbon add hydrogen in the presence of catalysts such as palladium or nickel to give saturated hydrocarbon. So when unsaturated hydrocarbon are reacted in the presence of hydrogen with the help of the catalyst palladium, it becomes a saturated hydrocarbon. Catalysts are substances that cause a reaction to occur or proceed at different rate without the reaction itself being affected. This reaction is commonly used in hydrogenation of vegetable oils using a catalyst nickel. Vegetable oil generally have long unsaturated carbon chain while animal fat have saturated carbon chain. You must have seen advertisements stating that some vegetable oil are healthy. Animal fat generally contains saturated fatty acid which are said to be harmful to health. Oil containing unsaturated fatty acid should be chosen for cooking. Our next chemical property is substitution reaction. Here we are going to study about saturated hydrocarbon, which are fairly unreactive and inert in the presence of most reagent. But in the presence of sunlight, when chlorine is added to hydrocarbon in a very fast reaction, it can replace the hydrogen atom one by one. It is called substitution reaction because one type of atom or group of atom take place of another. A number of products are usually formed with higher homologous of alkenes. Here you can see methane when reacted with chlorine, it forms chloromethane and hydrochloric acid is formed in the presence of sunlight. Now let's study some important carbon compounds, ethanol and ethanoic acid. Many carbon compounds are invaluable to us, but here we shall study the property of two commercially important compounds, ethanol and ethanoic acid. Ethanol, as we know, alcohol. Ethanol is a liquid at room temperature. Ethanol is commonly called alcohol and is the active ingredient of all alcoholic drinks. In addition, because it is a good solvent, that means it dissolves most of the substances in it. It is also used in medicine such as tincture iodine, cough syrup and many tonic. Ethanol is also soluble in water in all proportions. Consumption of small quantities of dilute ethanol causes drunkenness. Even though this practice is condemned, it is socially widespread practice. However, intake of even a small quantity of pure ethanol called absolute alcohol can be lethal. Also, long-term consumption of alcohol lead to many health problems. Now let's see the reactions of ethanol. The first reaction is with sodium. Alcohol react with sodium leading to the evolution of hydrogen. With ethanol, the other product is called sodium ethoxide. The second reaction is when it gives unsaturated hydrocarbon. Heating ethanol at 443 Kelvin with excess concentrated sulfuric acid result in the dehydration of ethanol to give ethene. The concentrated sulfuric acid can be regarded as dehydrating agent which removes water from ethanol. The second substance we are going to study is ethanoic acid. Ethanoic acid is commonly called acetic acid and belongs to a group of acid called carboxylic acid. 5 to 8% solution of acetic acid in water is called vinegar and is widely used as preservative in pickles. The melting point of pure ethanoic acid is 290 Kelvin and hence it often freezes during winter in cold climates. This gave rise to its name glacial acetic acid. So that means that ethanoic acid freezes in cold climate and because it becomes solid like ice, it is called glacial acetic acid. The group of organic compound called carboxylic acid are obviously characterized by their acidic nature. However, unlike mineral acid like HCl, which are completely ionized, carboxylic acid are weak acid. That means they do not completely ionize in water. Reactions of ethanoic acid. The first is esterification. Esters are most commonly formed by reaction of an acid with an alcohol. Ethanoic acid react with absolute ethanol in the presence of acid catalyst to give an ester. These are used in making perfumes and as flavoring agents, that is in your toffees. On treating with sodium hydroxide, which is an alkali, ester is converted back to alcohol with sodium salt of carboxylic acid. This reaction is known as saponification because it is used in preparation of soap. Soap are sodium or potassium salt of long chain carboxylic acid. The second reaction is reaction with a base. Like mineral acid, ethanoic acid react with a base such as sodium hydroxide to give a salt and water. And the third reaction is reaction with carbonate and hydrogen carbonate. Ethanoic acid react with carbonate and hydrogen carbonate to give rise to a salt, carbon dioxide and water. The salt produced is commonly called sodium acetate. This brings us to the last topic of this chapter, soaps and detergent. As you can see on the left hand side in diagram 4.12, it shows the formation of micelles. Now let's study how soap cleans the dirt. Most dirt is oily in nature, and as you know, oil does not dissolve in water. The molecule of soap are sodium or potassium salt of long chain carboxylic acid. Ionic end of soap interact with water, while carbon chain interact with oil. The soap molecule thus forms structure called micelles, where one end of the molecule is towards the oil droplet while the ionic end faces outside. This forms an emulsion in water. The soap micelle thus help in pulling out the dirt in water, and we can wash our water clean. So in this manner, the soap cleans the dirt from all the substances. Here you can see the structure of micelle. The blue part given over here is dirt. When you apply soap on it, the soap molecule thus forms structure called micelles. There are two ends of the micelle, hydrophilic and hydrophobic. It acts on the grease and it sticks to the grease and separates it from that substance. The sodium head is called hydrophilic end, while the other end, the tail part, is called hydrophobic end, that is the soap molecule. And this molecule N captures the dirt between this hydrophobic end and it leaves the dirt away from the water with the help of hydrophilic end. This way the dirt is separated from different substance. Also, have you ever observed while bathing that foam is formed with difficulty and an insoluble substance scum remains after washing with hard water? This is caused by the reaction of soap with calcium and magnesium salt. As soap is a sodium and potassium salt, it reacts with the hard water particles of calcium and magnesium, and that makes it difficult and impossible to clean the substance in hard water. This problem is overcome by using another class of compound called detergent. Detergent are generally sodium salt of sulfonic acid or ammonium salt with chlorides or bromides ion. Both have a long hydrocarbon chain. The charge end of this compound do not form insoluble precipitate with the calcium and magnesium ion in hard water. Thus, they remain effective in hard water. Detergents are thus usually used to make shampoo and product for cleaning clothes, which can be used in hard as well as soft water with the same ease. Thank you, children.